Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a fun way to support the channel is by leaving a like, by leaving a comment, or by subscribing if you are new here. Very big thank you to all the new Patreon supporters. I keep seeing more and more of you every single day. Thank you very much. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. For those of you who were not here or took a break over the weekend, you might have noticed that the cryptocurrency market was and is currently still in red. This is because of a number of factors. I implore you to please go watch the other videos so you can get the full rundown on exactly what took place. However, the long and short of it basically is stuff is happening in Asia. People are afraid of the Asian markets finally going down after a very long period of growth. This is starting to affect the other markets around the world. There's rumbles that the growth might have been, the word isn't faked, it's more of a, it might not have been as good as analysts were expecting over the last couple of years. The Asian stock markets at the moment, I believe, have just opened somewhere around that time. And therefore, if they are already in the negative after having opened, this could then go to the European markets as they open, and then could go to the US markets as they open as well. And because at the moment, people are usually equating the cryptocurrency markets with tech stocks, which have also been falling over the course of the weekend. Therefore, crypto has a bit of a fall down in price as well. I think you should be able to see this. I assume it's not cut off by the actual screen. It says China stock market expected to open under pressure. On top of that as well, there's all this news about 19 5.0 also potentially wreaking havoc on markets. So once again, it's just a very interesting time to not only be alive, but also to actually be in the cryptocurrency market, seeing what affects our market and what doesn't, because lo and behold, we've had news for months now about massive Bitcoin accumulation, and Bitcoin's price has gone up by 0.5%. Other things that should not at all be affecting Bitcoin's price, like the real estate market on the other side of the planet, for some reason are now causing shivers against the cryptocurrency market. But, it's just a weird market in general. On top of that, and I usually say, like, this is not to be left out news. While we are currently in the red, I believe Bitcoin is currently down by 0.5%, 1%, like actually at the time of me making this video. There are many other altcoins that are also down, but you can see the end of the weekend volatility starting to hit. At the time now, Bitcoin looks like it's moving back up, but once again, nobody knows. A number of articles are out discussing the bullishness of the cryptocurrency market. A lot of articles were popping around in the last 4 or 5 hours that I could tell, talking about that Bitcoin looks like it's going to try and pass by 50,000, that Bitcoin looks like it's going to be bullish if it goes above 52,000, that Bitcoin looks like if it wants to, it could go above 60,000 by the end of this week. There's still a lot of optimism in the market. Once again, grain of salt, because not one single person knows exactly what's going to happen with this market. I think there are far too many outside, the word isn't influences, factors taking place, that it's just impossible, regardless of how bullish or how optimistic or how stable our market might look, or even how much accumulation is actually happening. I think just no real logic is currently at play. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says, while Bitcoin inches closer to 50,000, analysts say market still remains bullish. Here's another one. We can expect a parabolic move from Bitcoin in the coming months. This was said by the UK's Governor STA, Senior Training Actuary. A recent blog post from the UK government's actuary department has been making rounds in the crypto community. As it appears, the blog post, which was authored by Scott Waygood, the senior trainee actuary, makes a great case for Bitcoin at a time when market players are expressingly worrying about the current price dip. Waygood reveals he expanded his investment by buying into crypto, which resulted in a 7% surge value over the past 12 months, basically, and don't have to read anymore. Bam, right there, you can see it. He expects a very parabolic move, if you will, over the next couple of months as well for Bitcoin's price. Also, not surprising, and it's really funny. The actual we will be just fine news completely outweighed any other type of negative price news. In a recent interview, former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal talked about Ethereum and two of its currently faster and cheaper to use competitors. You might remember we were talking about Raoul Pal 2 or 3 days ago at this point, when it appeared as if he was one of the very few people to actually call correctly that Bitcoin's price was going to continue dipping until eventually going sky high. Now, once again, here's you get one and you get one, everyone's grain of salt, because when I read through this, I was like, okay, well, it gets a bit heavy exactly what he has to say. So basically, someone was asking him what he expects from the market and where he thinks everything is going to go. He says, I'm using base case probabilities, no certainties. I still think that Ethereum finishes this year closer to 15,000 than to 10,000. Okay, just by nature of what is actually going on right now and the chart patterns and, the people who are coming into the space. I actually still see Ethereum. The small probability upside is that it hits $40,000 by the summer. Right, this is why everyone is holding on to their grain of salt. That's because of the staking cycle and how the charts look. And using the log chart, extending it forwards, and a number of things give me that. It's not my base case. My base case would be $20,000 per Ether by March at the latest. And when asked about the other competitors to Ethereum, he says they're not as stable. They haven't really proven themselves in the market yet. They solve different problems and they have a number of different centralization. That's absolutely fine. So Bitcoin's dominance is going to diminish over time, fall because... Right. So everyone's quite optimistic about the future. I mean, I, for one, would love a $40,000 Ether. And also, I assume in this future, we have a 250 something or odd other $1,000 Bitcoin price as well. But I feel like some of the numbers that people are throwing out now are a bit... I don't want to say over-exaggerated, but a $40,000 Ethereum or even a $10,000 to $15,000 Ethereum in like 25 days? I don't know. It seems like a bit of a little stretch. On top of that as well, once again, the optimistic news completely. I mean, you would not even really know that there was any negative price news. It says Algorand's price prepares for a massive pump, is all-time high on its way. I mean, is it? I don't clearly know with all the good news floating around. Anyway, that's all the price news. At least for right now, I think we will all be able to see in the next couple of hours exactly what's going to happen with the cryptocurrency market. Simply because I have my own beliefs as where the market should be. I have believed for a while that we should be much higher in price. But alas, I was going to say logic, but it's not even logic. Anyway, that's all the price news. Kind of. There's like a little bit more, but it segues into something else. Anyway, that's that news. And yeah, let's move on. Next up, also in very popular news, sure, why not? Cardano has breached 1 million staking wallets earlier on Sunday. This was the first major milestone for the proof-of-stake blockchain after the much-hyped Alonzo hard fork in September. The rising popularity of Cardano staking highlights Cardano's growing influence in the DeFi ecosystem. Charles Hoskinson, the founder, shared the milestone with his Twitter followers with a screenshot of staking wallets and the number of active pools. And there's the tweet right there. So the news, I think the last time we had news about this was 2 or 3 or so odd weeks ago. I think there were 800,000 staking wallets, and now we have 1 million. Cool. I'm not one of those channels who's going to like actively, pull out the party hat and blow on that whatever that thing I have. What is that thing called? We all had them as kids during parties, but a blower, an air whistler. I don't know what those things are even. And I was going to say a happier that doesn't make any. Anyway, so the point is, yeah, they passed by 1 million staking wallets. I think this was just completely evident that Cardano was going to do this. It's one of the biggest blockchains on the planet. I knew that eventually more people, when they figured out exactly how much of rewards they would get from staking Cardano and also holding Cardano, the more people would simply enter into the market. 1 million's a really big number. I guess the other next celebration will be 2 million, which I guess will happen in about 3 or 4 months or something like that. I think a large part of it is just simply, if I can be completely honest, a lot of people and a lot of my friends as well who got into Cardano a while ago, everyone seems to be a little perplexed as to why Cardano's price isn't moving. But to be fair, the entire cryptocurrency market is just a mess right now price-wise. And I don't think the actual prices of these coins are currently being reflected in reality. Cardano has moved up very, very quick in ranking and also in strength as an entire network and all the transactions and blah, 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 blah. But the price hasn't reflected that. And once again, also Bitcoin's price also hasn't been realistic. So yes, Cardano has 1 million wallets staking its coins. It just seems completely logical. I assume we will have more and more of these. I assume over the next couple of years that will hit 5 million. You get the point. Anyway, that's the Cardano news. And yes, let's move on now. Also in like 2.0 news, I don't know how to really put this. We had news last week that Niantic, the people who created Pokemon Go, were thinking of getting into the metaverse, and everyone was like, "Whoa, I can't believe it." Bitcoin rewards startup Fold is working with Niantic, the mobile game studio best known for developing Pokemon Go, to create a metaverse that will allow users to earn Bitcoin by collecting Satoshis as they play. And then they have like a Wikipedia thing for, it says, in case you are not familiar with Pokemon Go. I think everyone here should know exactly what Pokemon Go is. Like, I don't know how to. And Fold is a Bitcoin company that allows users of its Visa debit card to earn Bitcoin rewards on every purchase. And there's a little graphic right here for those of you. I tried to make it as large as possible. That's all I got. It says spend. So you spend your monies, and there's a card walking with glasses because that's what happens. And then it says spin. So I guess you spin after you have purchased something, so it makes it like a game. And then you win, and then there's another card sitting on money eating grapes, because I guess that's what they think rich people do. I'm not trying to make fun, but it's more like I don't know who thought of those photos. Rich people don't sit on their money and then simply eat grapes. They sit on their yacht and eat grapes. After having made a purchase, users can use the Fold mobile app, which seems to be only available in the US, of course, to spin the wheel for a chance to win Bitcoin. Well, on the 23rd of November, Fold announced on its blog that it was building a new metaverse, a world where technology unleashes human freedom and happiness. Bring it back there, buddy. Through a partnership with Niantic, and mentioned that it had started rolling out a limited beta of the metaverse experience within the Fold app. So it appears Fold is going to have the metaverse. Okay. And yeah, you'll be able to. It's kind of cringy. We will hear more about this as time goes on. I wonder what this is going to be like. If it's simply another Pokemon Go, but with like Bitcoin, But I think people like the idea of buying what they would already be buying and then receiving Bitcoin on top of that as opposed to actual cash back. I think people in the future will appreciate these Satoshis. I think it says it's somewhere around here as well how much you'll be getting. Oh, it looks like Pokemon Go, but with like money pills floating around and money I don't understand. This is kind of weird. What's happening in the background? I don't understand. Anyway, that's the Pokemon Go Fold spin the wheel sit on your money and eat grapes news. If this takes off, we will all hear about it. I think this new trend of everyone having to play games and then get rewarded for it is definitely going to catch on, especially as and I dare not even say passive income, because nothing about it is passive if you are actively playing. But people being able to play video games and get money, I think that is definitely a win-win. Anyway, that's the Pokemon Go news. It's like a diamond hand. I don't understand. Okay, all right. Let's move on. Next up, in one of my favorite news stories of the week, even though the week has just started, it says there have been no shortage of people and institutions that woefully underestimated the potential of cryptocurrencies. Among the ranks of once were Bitcoin naysayers is Wired, which destroyed the private keys to a Bitcoin wallet holding 13 Bitcoin back in 2013 in order to make a point that the cryptocurrency was nothing more than an abstraction. The Bitcoin is inaccessible now and is worth around $761,000 US. Author Robin McMillan, who now is a reporter with the Wall Street Journal, set up a Butterfly Labs Bitcoin mining rig in the corner of his office at Wired to see what all the fuss was about. All these kids, what are they doing with their internet money? At the conclusion of his experiment, he was far from impressed. He said the world's most popular digital currency really is nothing more than an abstraction. Here's my favorite part. The journalist deliberated on what to do with the Bitcoin at the time, initially considering donating them to charity. But in the end, the answer was obvious. He wrote, "We're destroying the private key used by our Bitcoin wallet." Can you imagine being so smug, so full of yourself, that you have hundreds of dollars that a machine created, and instead of actually giving it to people who need food on the streets, you decide to destroy that money so no one can ever touch it again to prove a point? Even more so, imagine if this man now still did not believe in Bitcoin and had kept that Bitcoin, how many lives he would have been able to change. Imagine walking down the street. Think about this. $716,000, was it? $761,000. Imagine taking all that money in cash and walking down the street, and as people pass by or as you see people who need it, you give each of them $5,000 or $10,000. But no. And I'm trying to stop myself from, I don't even say the word is cursing, but it's more like we've had so many news stories like this where these people are so full of themselves, and I promise you, I can just feel it in the air. This person probably now owns some Bitcoin and is desperately trying to buy as many Satoshis as possible because they realize exactly what they did. Anyway, I thought this was a fascinating news story. Whenever we get stuff like this, I make sure to share it. I guess maybe so that people also keep their feet on the ground and aren't floating into the air because they think that they are richer than other people. But yeah, if there's any point where you decide that cryptocurrencies are garbage, or you want to lock up or throw away a private key just to prove a point, give it to somebody who needs it. Yeah, anyway. Can you imagine the audacity? Well, I don't need the money. Anyway, I'm going to stop myself now. Let's move on. Also, I feel like this is a bit of news I missed, but I feel like this should have definitely been more everywhere news, and it really wasn't. Binance's smart chain has launched an automatic burning mechanism. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, well, here we go. Binance's smart chain recently activated BEP95, which integrates a real-time burning mechanism into its token structure. From now on, a fixed ratio of gas fees collected by validators will be burned in each block. The Binance Smart Chain announced a new mechanism launched over Twitter earlier this week. Its burn ratio, adjusted by governance, reportedly sits at 10%. Wow. BEP95 was introduced in October with a goal of speeding up Binance's burn process and further decentralizing the network. The company also theorized that this will drive up the price of Binance coins, presumably through increased scarcity. So Binance Coin has a, what do you call it? A burn that usually takes place every 3 to 4 months. It's usually timed. Everyone knows when it's going to happen. And it's usually like a surprise whenever we see exactly how much Binance coin has been burned. The idea is, in the beginning, they had 200 million coins, and the burn will put them down to 100 million coins. And I assume that's as low as it's ever going to actually go because it is a governance token and many other things on their platform. But I guess the automatic burn or the smart burn mechanism is being implemented because they're probably tired of having someone in a room hitting buttons every 3 or 4 months to figure out exactly when this thing is going to happen. So we will definitely be hearing more about this because Binance News always tends to make it into the actual news, and we'll hear. And I can only assume this is slightly being done because of the Ethereum thing. So we're going to start hearing more often news about exactly how many Binance coin were burned this week, that week, because Binance Smart Chain is doing an immense. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. I was like screaming in my ear once again. I don't know what it is. I start the video, everything sounds really cool, but like it slowly like gets louder and louder in my ear as the video goes on. Technology. Anyway, so yeah, many other coins and projects were discussing the actual implementation of a coin burn as well. You might remember, I think like 2 weeks after Ethereum got theirs, the community was screaming at Charles Hoskinson to also implement a coin burn on the network. And then I think this is one of the smartest things he's ever said. He was like, okay, well, you burn your coins. You send your coins to this address and they'll be burned. It's kind of the idea that they wanted everyone else to burn their coins so that their coins could be worth more. But he's like, why don't you burn yours so that everyone else says. Anyway, that's the Binance Smart Chain news. Here's the tweet for it right here. Wonderful. Fantastic. Alrighty. Let's move on. And to finish things off in a little bit more of a news I missed kind of thing, Grubhub, an American online food delivery platform, has come up with an exciting new way to get you to buy food. The company has partnered with Bitcoin rewards company Lolli, that is Lolli, to allow its users to earn Bitcoin on every single order. Integrating crypto into a simple routine activity like ordering food. Routine activity? I hope a lot of you are cooking your own food. Like ordering food online is yet another effort at driving crypto adoption. Lolli has partnered with many companies in various sectors to offer customers Bitcoin rewards. In a Wednesday announcement, Lolli said that Grubhub customers will earn $5 in Bitcoin on their first order. Subsequently, they will get $1 in Bitcoin on other food orders using the platform's extension. Before users can enjoy this benefit, they must activate Lolli. Before users can enjoy this benefit, they must activate Lolli on web or mobile before placing an order at Grubhub. And after a user earns up to $15, or roughly, it's 1,100,000, 26,000 Satoshis at the current price, they will all be able to transfer it to their own virtual wallet. That seems a little complicated, but I mean, it's free Bitcoin, so alas, here we are. Here's the, the blog post for it. So, I mean, once again, and if you are already doing something, why not get free money and or free Bitcoin from it as well? I'm getting hungry looking at this. Also haven't had breakfast because... Anyway, that's that news. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University. Blockchain Simplified. And let's move on. Chris. Hakeem Wilkins, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, Fudd, Wiser, Mortified, Roman Geba, Bitcoin Ben, Arachno Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plump Tomato, Umnu, Wish Nikki, The Letter M, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way Lay, Crypto Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy655, and Carlos Was Like, Mobarazi, Jojo Shawshow, VB Nerd, 21, Miguel Grolay, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Bare Bones, Mining, Troy, all good. Space Case, Need a Miracle, Paternoster, Conan, Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolek Banan, Auspicious Agile, and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila Nahan, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Stoyo, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Ebibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam, Graysick, Mohamed Roni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl 242 to the World Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cole D3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day. Yes to Crypto, Boardy McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monks Runner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all. I tip my digital hat to thee very, very much for the continued support. I appreciate it. You're all amazing. Thank you very, very much. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel who clicked the little join button below. Thank you to everyone who is still here listening to me as I talk about crypto into a microphone. At the moment, Bitcoin is at $47,908. It is down by 2.94%. See this little wacky volatility right here. Stock markets. Ethereum is currently down by 4. Binance coin is down by 4. You kind of get the point. The market's a lot in red. Stable coins are in green. So if you're holding stable coins, that's a thing. Algorand is currently up by 5.6%. OKB is up by 0.7. Anything else? Leo Unis said Leo is up by 0.85% on less than $1 million of trading volume. So I can't really. Why is this in the top 42? You have less than $1 million of trading volume. I just don't understand logic in this market at all. And Pancake is up by 2.28%. So pancakes are delicious, and therefore that's why the price is up. Makes a lot of sense to me. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having happy Monday. I know Mondays can be a bit rough, but hang in there because eventually Friday has to come at some point. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.